The torture doesn't end.
It's true.
That's the black. This is the joke.
So let me take you back about half an hour. Nosedive. I was bang on the money.
Yeah, he was.
And whilst we're underground, film number 3 of today's episode, Stuber, released on July the 12th, 2019, directed by Michael Dowse, starring Kumail Nanjiani as Stu Prasad, Dave Bautista as Victor Manning, Uwais as Oka Tejo, and Natalie Morales as Nicole Manning. When a mild-mannered Uber driver named Stu picks up a passenger who turns out to be a cop hot on the trail of a brutal killer, he's thrust into a harrowing ordeal where he desperately tries to hold on to his wits, his life, and his 5-star rating. So for the third and final time today.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Hey!
Kyle, were you entertained?
No.
Amari, were you entertained?
Yes.
Giles, were you entertained?
No.
I wasn't entertained. So we got exactly the same outcome as last film. Do you want to kick it
I'll
off?
kick it off. Okay, so
Cool.
I'm not saying this was a good film, but I was entertained. And the reason why I knew it wasn't going to be a good film.
And it's perfectly okay to be entertained by a bad film.
Oh yeah, the reason
that's acceptable.
the reason why I knew it was going to be a bad film is because I watched Final Score. Now,
Yeah,
I
we
know
need to
none of
watch
you
this.
man have
No, but we need to watch this.
What's Final Score?
Final Score.
It's
It's the first film I saw.
Don't tell him.
It's the first time I saw Dave Bautista as a main character.
Yeah.
That's the first time
I thought
seen
this
it.
was his main. Okay.
Oh no, this is
No. Yeah,
The
that
one
was
set
the
in
first.
Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, that was the first.
It wasn't set when it was set at London Stadium. That's
there you go, yeah.
that's even. This is why it was even so. It was
London Stadium.
At London Stadium. All right, listen, that's
film, almost as bad, and this is I'll never get over this. You see, Signs, Snoop Dogg, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg has the audacity to call Wimbledon the Wimbledon Arena. I'll never get over it. But that's just a side thing. That's just the DJ pet hate. But anyway, go on.
But anyways, because I knew that film was bad, yeah, I knew this film was going to be bad, but it still made me laugh because I was like, how did this guy I was allowed to make another film? That's the point. That's the first part, to be a main guy. It's like, I understand you as doing some dry comedy. Mm-hmm. You're allowed to do that as a cameo. You're actually decent at that. You're entertaining.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree with that.
I remember in Guardians of the Galaxy when he has the Skittle scene and he's just
He's probably the funniest character.
He's a good captain, but as a main guy,
Yeah.
You know, when you didn't get that Rock's acting gene, you really didn't. You really didn't look at the manual because I don't know what you was doing in that wrestling school. Like,
Listen,
I don't know if there was any funny jokes, but it was funny watching him trying to be funny.
And do you know what? I've discovered discovered something about myself, which I knew anyway.
Do you share it?
Yeah, it's time for me to.
It's only taken 29 years to discover yourself.
I'm straight. But,
I didn't say that. I said discovering yourself and that is two different things.
It was part of the discovery.
We need to have an off-air conversation, young man.
Do you know what it is? I drank a bottle of Coke on my way here, so that's why. But anyway, so one thing for me, look, Dave, mate, just stick to the ring, man. And even the ring, he's retired now. Because I found myself...
Well, that match was poor as well.
Yeah. We won't get into that.
Let's not talk about WrestleMania.
One thing for me in this was like, it was so not funny. I ended up laughing at things, making my own fun out of the film. So one thing I will say about Vic, so obviously Dave Bautista's character, I just thought the fact that he's blind throughout the whole film, that kind of made me laugh. There were scenes where...
stupid.
That's why I was laughing. But that's why I was laughing.
Stupid.
Yeah, it was overplayed, I think.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah. Like the scene where he first gets the tip and then he gets in his car and then he can't. That is so dumb, but it made me laugh. This wasn't a great film for me. It was a Channel 5 film, if I'm honest. I love
No,
using that.
I wouldn't even
Channel
watch on
5. It's lower than 5.
Yeah.
It's more like
ITV2.
No, it's
Pardon the pun.
it's a Stony movie film because there's the Stony movie channel.
Oh,
It's
wow.
I saw that
the
channel.
hell was
once.
Sony movie channel.
Yeah.
Did he say Stony movie?
Sony, you mean.
Stone Island has got a film channel. I was back. It really was like, and pretty, you know. Okay, right, let me just get rid of the elephant in the room. First things first, drop a quick bomb. Eco away. Because when I see his face in a film, I think you said this about John Wick when we saw one of the assailants, and I thought,
it's two of them.
okay, the naughty guy, the little one.
It's him, but it's also the bad guy that he fights at the end of Raid 2.
Oh,
the guy with the hook thing is him as well. It's both of them too.
You're right. Okay, but whenever I see anyone from the Raid, to take one of your quotes, great. In fact, you say it. What is the raid to you, Carl?
Yeah, the greatest action film of all time.
Okay. When I see any actor from that, straight away I think, okay, this is gonna at least have some good scenes. Mile 22. When we went to see Mile 22, G,
bruv.
and I saw Eco away in that. I was
is
like,
he in that?
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, how have you not seen that?
It's like
I haven't even heard of it.
Right. Okay. Right. No, because it wasn't. It
Mile
wasn't
22.
I thought
Mark Wahlberg.
Can we review Mile 22? He hasn't even seen it. Can we review it instead?
No.
That's gonna be his homework.
Yes. Of course he can.
That might have to be some homework for you, but But
Okay.
anyway, when I saw him in that, I was like, okay, I'm invested, and then he delivered. So when I saw him in this, I thought, okay, right. I started rubbing my hands. At least we're gonna get some good action scenes. Unfortunately, we didn't get that in this, and that was the one thing I was looking forward to, because he's the main guy as well in the raid. So I thought we are gonna get some beautifully choreographed action scenes. But
Listen, we're on episode 7, yeah? We've reviewed 3 films per episode. That's 21 films. This is the first film I just didn't even bother to take any notes on.
wow.
I didn't even bother to take any notes
Nah,
on.
to be fair, I've got minimal notes.
I didn't even... You did better than me. I thought...
What's the point?
This is shit. Sorry for my language again. This is just shit. Like, again, found myself at the end of it asking myself the same question that I'd asked myself at the end of Midsummer, but under a different context. What the fuck did I just watch? Like, what? It was a nonsense. It was. Sorry, Carl, to borrow your word, but it was rubbish. It was just absolute. And we've reviewed some humdingers. You know, this was just like you just said about you was expecting action. I was expecting action scenes as well. Like you said, that actor. I thought, yeah. Well, maybe there was action scenes, but they were filming them so bloody fast with the shaky cam, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
what was going on? What could you see anything?
And the thing is as well, like, this is the thing about cinema. You know, when you're watching certain films, you know straight away within the first 10 minutes, okay, well, you can assume what kind of film you're going to get. So I got, okay, so we're opened, he's a policeman. So we're in LA. Okay, cool. So there's going to be a drug dealer. Oh, what do you know?
Even the way how his partner died.
Yeah, it was just very, just
yawn.
Very, and I think one of the main problems for me for this, I mean, I don't know any other of this guy's work, but Kumail Nanjiani, I don't know, I've never seen him in anything, but the way he was presented, so I think we're introduced to him where he's coming out of the shop and he's getting into his Uber.
Yeah.
So it proposed a very sort of relatable, interesting, current topic. Uber, everybody uses Uber, everyone knows what it is. And funnily enough, I mean, we started off today's episode talking about how good, I think, is it Himesh Patel, Tamwa, who plays Jackie, how good his deadpan, how good his sarcasm is. And we're ending the film on someone who I think was trying to achieve that, but missed on every single mark.
Yeah.
He just wasn't funny.
No, he probably had a few lines that made me chuckle a little bit.
Yeah.
But overall, he was missing the mark.
Nothing was funny about this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I found as well certain scenes where it was like, you know, scenes which I think they're thinking, to take Omari's phrase, they want the audience to be belly up laughing. And it was almost like, oh, this is bad. Like,
yeah, it was, because it felt very forced. It felt very like you're really trying to force the humour here. Yeah. But it's just not hitting.
Do you think this film was rushed? Or do you think this is the standard that he can produce?
No, I think this is what, because I can imagine, it wouldn't surprise me if some people watch this film
16 million budget, by the way,
and said, oh, I enjoyed that film.
How much is it made now?
I'll find out.
Can we,
Like, I reckon there'll be people that will come away and say, I knew exactly what I was going in for, and I enjoyed it.
But do you
I could see that.
Do you think it'd be that bad though when you knew? Because I knew what I was getting in for, but I didn't think it'd be so bad that I'll find it funny.
The thing is, I thought
bad.
I thought it wasn't that bottom of the barrel bad for me.
It was for me.
It was
for
just
me.
to answer Amari's question, how much is made? As of August the 5th, Stuber has grossed 21.9 million in the US and Canada, 8.5 in other territories. So that's a worldwide total of 30.4 million dollars.
So they're just
so it's done all right.
Almost
it's done,
double.
Yeah, it's done all right.
Do you know who that guy is, the Asian guy in this film?
No, who is he?
He's the voice of Pawnee.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah,
It's
that would explain a lot.
starting to make sense.
Yes, and we know how annoying he was.
Just
in
so
Men in
people
Black.
know, Pawnee is a little thing from Men in Black that saves everyone.
Yeah. And again, as I say, like within the first sort of, all right, let's get into it a bit further. You get introduced to Vic, you get introduced to Stu. So now I was sitting there thinking, right, so this is the classic tale of the big burly character and the nerdy introvert. So, it's played out. It's a common theme, but you need the action and the brute strength and that side of things from your big burly guy, and then you need the nerdy, the sort of out of my depth. I'm nothing special. I'm just an average joker. You need that to really come through, and it didn't come through on either sides. It wasn't enough action. It wasn't good. The shootout scene in the shop was poor. The humor from Stu was poor. It just really wasn't a good film at all.
It was poor all around. I think it was probably written for someone like The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
and they turned it down.
And it got sent.
There you go.
That's what I was thinking watching the film. Yeah,
it's
actually, I get that.
Yeah, because the thing is, they tried to add other themes into the film. They tried to get a bit deeper.
Well, the love story,
than the comedy,
the love story,
and the scene with the thing with him and his daughter and him not being around. But they just need to leave it. Just make it what it is. Don't try and expand and make it deeper than what it is.
So you would have liked it more if they didn't expand it?
Yeah, if they didn't try to go into them themes.
Listen, the love interest was
rubbish
from start to finish. Wasn't invested. Didn't feel it. And again, it's like they tried to come with the comedy. So it was the kind of when he's on his phone and then she's swiping and then suddenly it goes to her with the big built black guy. I laughed at that because I was like, okay, you're playing on that connotation. And then the whole scene about come round and let's have sex. It was dead. It was not. They were really trying to make it something, but it missed completely. Funny quote though. I think I won't say it's my favourite scene, but one thing that did make me laugh out loud was you see when Vic and Stu they're running away from Tejo, and they run into that sort of warehouse area, and he picked up the announcing thing, and he's gone, "Hello operator, someone's trying to murder us," and then it came out loud like that. That made me laugh. So
I'm happy for you. Can I say my favourite scene?
It's weird to see him so unanimated, didn't it? So when something doesn't make you laugh, it doesn't make you laugh.
No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. It's either or no. My favourite scene, I don't have one. I literally do not have a favourite. Because I didn't...
All right, so most memorable then. What do you remember? What scene do you remember the most out of the film?
The title card. I don't remember this.
Nothing was there.
I can categorically say this is the worst film I've seen this year, and that is sense for me.
Worse than Midsommar.
Do you know what?
Stop hating on Midsommar.
Do you know what? At least I can come away from Midsommar and say, yeah, what the hell did I watch? However, it was beautifully shot. I got the meaning of it. I could see what they tried to do.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah. No, I didn't agree with it, but I got it. Mm-hmm. This was just pointless. You've tried to do like an Odd Couple buddy comedy that isn't really funny.
100 times.
And it's got you've like you said, you probably shipped it around to some A-listers, and they was like,
I didn't even think of that, but it's so true.
No, we're not doing it.
Give it to Dave. He started off. Give it to Dave.
And Bautista, I don't know what you're going to do with your life.
But you know what the worst thing is? Like, he seems, again, because we can only perceive these guys through interviews and through media and whatever, but he genuinely seems like a nice guy. And recently...
He probably is.
Recently, I was watching a WWE produced documentary, and he was saying, like, he seemed very real. Like, he was like, yeah, when I sort of thought I want to come out of wrestling, I didn't have any money. My money was tied up in other things, and I was actually broke. Then he said, I want to get into the film thing, but I couldn't do it. But then obviously he started off, I don't know if Final Score was his first thing, but then he's done a few of these small things. He's landed the Bond villain role. Yeah. And then he's obviously...
But he was good in the Bond villain role because he had no words.
But this is what I'm saying.
I didn't even like him in that, personally.
I just think if he can get away with kind of playing, is it Jax?
Yeah.
Drax. If he can get away with playing Drax
with limited thing, but
with limited
script.
But this is this I think is
and
this
just playing on his big body awkwardness.
Yeah.
But with limited words.
I think and
some body paint and face paint. So
but he could go far doing that.
No, that's what I'm saying. If he stays in that lane, then fine. But headlining this was. This was like a power bomb. That's what this was like. A Bautista bomb. This was literally a Bautista bomb.
It was.
It was a jolting. That wasn't funny. It was an unfunny joke.
And for me, if it's if you're relying on comedy And the longer it goes and the less I laugh, problems.
Yeah, worst film I've seen this year.
Problems.
Sorry, I have to say it. The thing is, I'll do it on my wrap up.
Well, okay, we'll finish off the favourite scenes. I'm going to go when Vic and Stu went head to head in Stu's store. And they just having.
Are you able to make out what they was fighting?
When they were fighting?
Yeah.
You was able to make that out, was you?
Kind of.
Well done.
Yeah, there was parts where I was like, I didn't see that, and then it ended up with...
Maybe I'll go back and watch it in slow-mo.
You're not going to
I'm not going to go back and watch it in slow-mo.
But yeah, I'd say that was my favourite scene. It was kind of like well shot. It was kind of like a real moment in the film. So yeah, Carl.
It's where he goes to see some of the Mexican guys, I think. He busts into their house. I think they're drug dealers.
Oh yes, and with the dog.
Yeah.
And he can't see. Yeah.
That bit was quite funny. And he's talking about that's a microwave, that's a fish tank. You sit around watching fish all day.
Yeah.
And it had moments for me, and that bit there was funny. That was one of the few moments. Yeah.
Amari.
So memorable. This means I don't understand now why every time we watch a film from Hollywood, they always go to a vet. That's one of the main things I took from the film. I don't understand. Whenever there's some sort of injury or anything, we'll always go to a vet to heal it. I just don't get it. Like, do you not have a human being that could actually do you as a doctor and fix you up? Like, it's telling me that it always has to be a vet. It's a memorable scene. It's just something that was
something you remembered. No, that's cool.
It's like,
that's
why?
Cool. That's cool. Well, I can presume this is going to be quite quick. I'm going to kick this off. I gave it 2 stars.
How do you keep on giving these films 2 stars?
Do you know what? Do you know what it is? Because put it like this, yeah, it didn't have enough to entertain me, but I didn't come out of the cinema thinking that was one of the worst. I took it for what it was. I've seen worse films, put it like that. So I wouldn't give it 2. Again, sometimes if I'm watching a film, it's like what you getting engaged from, and I wasn't really engaged from what I was. The story, the plot, and the rest of it. But some of the music in it was decent. Some of the cinematography kept me like on edge at times. I thought, this is quite well shot. So I can't say there were good things about the films. I can't give it a 1 star. It's not the greatest film ever made, let's be honest. Classic story, as I said, of the big burly guy paired up with the introvert, but the chemistry wasn't there for me, and I wasn't really engaging. Very basic storyline, expected, nothing special at all. The performances as well, again, very standard. No one really stood out. And did Iko Uwais need to be in this? Not really, but we allow him because he was in The Raid, and as Kyle says, The Raid is
the greatest action film of all time.
So he gets a blight. He's in that legendary status where he could film whatever he wants, and he's going to get a decent rating from me. But yeah, 2 stars overall from me. Giles.
Can I give it no stars?
No, you can't give it no stars because no stars isn't a rating.
You can give it the mummy dot.
You can give it the unofficial mummy dot.
It gets the unofficial mummy dot.
But the TMRG star, you're going to give it.
It's 1 star. If it's the lowest, it's the lowest.
You said it with such disdain in your face, man.
I just don't have. I actually had a point, and now I've forgotten the point. Like I've just not even engaged.
You're not even engaged enough.
No, I just don't care about this film. That was my point, right? So, yes, we've reviewed some humdingers. Yeah, like some really nonsense films. Godzilla being one. However, it's Godzilla. Technically, it's part of a universe. It's a sequel, whichever way you want to look at it. So I get why that film was made. This, I don't understand why it was made. Like I'm struggling to see like again Men in Black. You know, Pokemon. It's got
lineage.
Yeah, like what was this?
Do you know what I think this is? I think I can answer your question. I think you actually answered your question earlier on. This was a tester for Dave. I think he really wanted to be.
No, he had his tester and final score. I'm telling you.
No, that didn't even get.
When you see final score,
was that cinema release?
It was cinema
but
and
only
Sky.
probably one, simultaneously.
The simultaneous release.
So they only probably showed it in the cinema where someone turned it on Sky, I think.
So for one day, one day.
Oh, someone's tuning in! Quick, get going.
7 a.m. showing that.
Nah, that was final score was his test release.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand is that he's obviously made final score. This has come out probably like 6 months later. So that means that film's already been made before this film's finished shooting.
Mental.
So I don't understand how they still managed to keep on shooting. But sorry to interrupt you, Carrie.
Yeah, like I get why those. I just don't get why this was made. It makes no sense. You know, I try to, like I said, it's a odd couple type of comedy. They've tried to kind of make it current by making him an Uber driver because everyone gets Ubers. Yeah. And then, no, we call him Stuber because, it's just I just want to erase this movie from all existence. Like, I don't know. Like, if we've got like a
easily done, my friend.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's
1 star from G.
Yeah, one star. Just
Amari.
It's a 1-star film. It's a 1-star film, but for me, my personal question is: can Dave recover from this 1-star film? No. This is the second 1-star main lead in film, though. This is, you don't understand how final score in this is they're competing to be the worst film.
You're saying Dave as a lead?
As a lead.
Okay.
I'm not talking about as cameo.
Can he recover?
Can he recover? That's what
in the immortal words of Jim Ross. Oh my God!
Yeah, I think Amari, can Dave Bautista recover from this?
Oh God!
So he best hope that Marvel contract drags out to another 15 other films. Him doing little 5-minute cameos because boy, he's not.
You
getting
never
paid.
know. The Rock had a rough start.
Nowhere near as bad
The
as
Rock
this.
had charisma.
Scorpion King.
was not good.
It was nowhere
forgetting
near
about
on this
Tooth
level.
Fairy.
Scorpion King
Tooth
and
Fairy?
Tooth Fairy.
Tooth Fairy?
Scorpion King and Tooth Fairy were compared to this. They were 3-star films.
Compared to this.
Scorpion King was 2, Tooth Fairy 1. But anyway,
it's a 1-star film. I'm not gonna say any more there.
1 star from Amari. Kyle.
yeah, the film was 2 stars for me. The plot was silly.
What's wrong with you people?
No, it was silly, but for me, it was that sort of film. Unfortunately, I just wasn't in the mood for it. They tried hard to add serious themes to make it more than a comedy that missed the mark. They should have just went full comedy mode and limited the action. Yeah, speaking of action, the guy from the raid was absolutely wasted. It was a sad sight to see, to be honest. I get he wants to cross over to American audiences, but you're better than this.
Yeah, but he needs to make money first.
Go, but you know what? Because I know it upset you to seem like that. So go and watch Mile 22, and that will bring it back up for you.
All right, maybe. So yeah, Batista reminds me of a cheap version of The Rock.
Yeah,
that he does okay, but clearly,
How can you call it the discount version?
it was though. It was.
He needs to be part of an ensemble. He's not ready to carry a whole film like this.
He's not ready.
He's not.
He's still on the undercard, isn't he? No, the dark show. He's still on the dark show.
Send him to NXT.
Yeah.
Send him down to NXT.
Yeah, he's not ready. There were definitely some moments that made me laugh in the film, but they were few and far between. So that's why I gave it 2.
And with that brings the TMRG star rating of Stuber 2. 1 star.
Can you get another flush, please, just to make sure it's all gone? Thank you very much.
Clean bowl. So that brings the show to the end for today.
Before we finish,
have you got a question?
I haven't got a question. I've kind of got it. We had a question from episode 1, and I don't know if we fully answered it. However, I've been quite busy on the Twitter, and I should shout out all the people
at TMRG podcast, by the way. Follow.
Which actually quite a few people have started following us and interacting.
It's true. You know what? And on that, massive shout out again. We had a few more followers this week. Some people getting involved on the Twitter as well, responding, and also on Instagram. Thank you for the inboxes of what films to review. Keep your eyes peeled. We'll be dropping some more info on that later.
So during episode 1, when we spoke about John Wick 3, we were all kind of like, why did he not? I think, Carl, you was disappointed that he didn't kill the 2 guys.
Yeah.
So it came up. I saw this. Someone had kind of was talking about an interview they'd done with Keanu Reeves on Twitter, and the reason why he didn't kill them is because during the filming of the scene, obviously they're trained fighters, and they kept on knocking him on his ass.
Okay,
but they were helping him up, so they left that in the film. Because remember, there's a bit where they actually So and he was like,
Oh,
he decided that they're not gonna die.
See, I don't like that explanation.
So you was being
It's almost out of respect.
You just can't please
You
them
can't
all.
please him. But at least you've got a definitive
Yeah,
answer
we've
now.
got an answer. I don't like it, but hey. Yeah, because you've taken out of the film. Basically, you've changed the film. But anyway, cool.
Yeah, respect given where it's due, I guess.